Whichever relationship you decide is the best and most achievable for you, some of the things you'll have to think about are how the breakup will affect your children, how you'll explain the breakup and any changes to them, and how you will answer and continue to answer that all-important question: what will happen to me? In this respect, you'll do well to remember that children, regardless of age or gender, will thrive on stability, and too much disruption in their lives, especially all at once or over a shortened period of time, can be very hard for them to deal with, both physically and mentally. It's for this reason that when their parents separate, they tend to cope better if they stay in the same neighborhood and attend the same schools, groups, and clubs. If change is unavoidable, however, you should prepare them in advance for that change and guide them safely through each and every step of each and every process using age-specific communication that asks for, acknowledges, and takes an interest in their wants, their needs, their fears, and their hopes, while at the same time leaving no doubt whatsoever that while their feelings will be taken into account, it is still the adults who are making the decisions, and it is still the adults who are capable of making the decisions. This too will be reassuringly familiar to those children who want to be listened to and heard, but are ultimately looking for and expecting your guidance in a world they may see as unpredictable and uncontrollable. Children will also do better when their day-to-day lives have some structure and they know what to expect. This doesn't mean that every single aspect of every single day should be exactly the same for them, nor that if they do have to stay in different households from time to time, their routine should be exactly the same in each household. But creating a coordinated and age-reflective schedule and telling your children what's expected of them in each household will help them feel safer and more secure, and it will stop them from being overwhelmed by the situation. For example, knowing that in your house, dinner time is followed by homework and a bath can remove a sense of uncertainty while reminding them you're still in control and you can be counted on to provide for them and fulfill their basic needs. This kind of predictability extends into discipline, another component of effective parenting, when used appropriately, in which you and your ex should not undermine each other, overcompensate, or compete for favor, and actually try, as much as possible, to maintain the same rules, expectations, and rewards from one household to the other. This too will help your children to cope much better with the breakup and find comfort, even through punishment, in the familiar aspects of each environment. They should further be encouraged to maintain and even strengthen their support group, and this may consist of siblings, grandparents, friends, teachers, babysitters, care workers, and any other members of their extended family and community who have their best interests at heart and could be an outlet for them if ever they feel like they need it. You should also consider the damage that losing contact with a pet may do to them, especially if they've been part of the family and part of their lives for a considerable period of time. On the other hand, you should be very careful about when and how you introduce new people into their lives, particularly someone you're romantically involved with, as doing so too early or in a way that's anything but delicately handled can have negative consequences that can affect their well-being and undo much, if not all, of the good work you've done up until that point. While many, if not all the things we've spoken about are well within your control, especially if you work with your ex, one thing you might not have control over is your financial position. You may also be worried, particularly if you're the resident parent, about how you might cope at an economic level. It could be, however, that you have far more options than you're aware of and far more control than you think. And since it's vital that you take back as much control as possible right now, it's very important that you learn about your rights and entitlements, even if you're not ready for the practicalities, or you don't think you are. This is something beyond the scope of the breakup plan itself, but if you head back to our resources area, you will find a host of information that will guide you expertly through the financial and legal aspects of parental separation.